Hey everyone, welcome back to Her Little Adventures. My name is La, and this is my Freestyle Friday episode where I just free flow and chit chat. And I especially love doing this actually after I finish creating some content where I have to be a little bit more scripted. And so this gives me that creative freedom just to kind of talk. But, you know, I may say that, but I actually do have some content that I kind of put together in terms of what I want to discuss and or talk with all of you about, my audience, my subscribers. So anyway, if you are, if you're a current subscriber, thank you, welcome back. And if you are new to this channel, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help me and so that I can grow this channel. And this YouTube channel, if this is your first time, this is actually a challenge to myself this year, 2025. It is what I like to call my journey to 50. I am challenging myself to be out there, to be seen, to jump on social media, and to finally launch that YouTube channel that I have always wanted to do for a number of years. So here I am. If you haven't seen any of my other, I actually have two more series. One is on Monday, and it's called YouTube Growth Mondays, where I just kind of document my journey so far, what I'm learning, what I'm not learning, what I could be doing better on my YouTube growth journey, and how I can actually grow that channel. And then Wednesday is actually just me, again scripted, just kind of sharing lessons, things that I'm also challenging myself to do more of, to be better in a perhaps sometimes vulnerable way. But it's just, as I like to call it, maybe my come to Jesus moment, things that I need to let go of, as I turn 50. And so that those two are, as I've said, a little bit more scripted, perhaps, a little bit more thought in terms of what I want to really say. But Friday, Freestyle Friday, is where I get to just kind of yap away and talk to you, my lovely subscribers and new subscribers, anything that's on my mind. And I hope that through this journey that I will become a much better speaker here on YouTube and also creating content. So anyway, normally you in the last couple of videos, and excuse me, I got to put my little clippy thingy away to turn on my camera on and off. But in previous Freestyle Friday, you've all been introduced and you've seen some of my feather friends and feather babies running around me begging for treats. But today here in Metro Portland, Oregon area on my farm, it's actually raining. So I'm not going to go sit outside. In fact, I don't know if you can see it, but the ducks love this rain. The chickens, on the other hand, are a bunch of chickens. They can't stand it. They hide. And I'm kind of glad that they do, because I do have a couple of crazy hens who think that they're ducks. And so they'll hang around in the rain. And the only thing I have to look forward to, that one of the things that I need to be cautious of, is some of them could become a little bit too wet and unfortunately hypothermia could kick in. So I have to monitor some of them later on as they start bedding for the evening. But other than that, the turkeys, the guineas, they're probably hiding right along with the chickens, and the ducks get the full range of the farm. Me, on the other hand, I'm not feeding anyone. I'm not doing anything. I actually decided, after filming several episodes for my YouTube channel, my series, I decided to come and sit outside. It's probably closer to 5 o'clock, and so overcast creates, in my opinion, better videos. But also, I get to sit in my cozy little window greenhouse that my husband built for me. And this is probably one of those rare time before summer hit, when it gets super hot inside here, where I actually can sit inside, stay warm, or at least slightly crisp, and I enjoy the cooler weather. So drinking my hot tea with my mug that my husband bought me for Christmas. I'm also known as the chicken lady. So anybody who knows me knows how much I love chickens, and anything and everything that I can either acquire or etc. probably has some chicken on it. But anyway, this week, at least at the filming of this week, I actually took about a week off, not to film, not to do anything. And if you visited my Wednesday Glow Up series, I talked a little bit about the sudden passing of my brother-in-law, who, when he went in, it was 2 weeks aggressive, very aggressive form of liver cancer. Went in, they diagnosed him. We thought that he would actually undergo chemotherapy. He was looking forward to undergoing chemotherapy, and then things just kind of took a turn for the worse. And from the moment he went into the ER to the time of the sudden passing, it was only 2 weeks. And so took a little bit of time off, to help with grieving, especially for my husband, but also helping and assisting the family with some of the funeral preparation. It's kind of tough. No one ever talks about how to prepare for one, but it happens. And so we have to roll up our sleeve and assist the family in whatever capacity that they need. So took about a week off. Didn't really want to film just because I didn't have anything really profound or even things that I really wanted to say and or even be on camera. But today, after about almost a week since his burial, I'm now back to trying to stay consistent and also back to, unfortunately or fortunately, as they say, life moves on. So you have to find the silver lining in all things, and thus being back to doing my usual normal thing, which is running the food cart and then also coming here to create content. It does give me a sense of normalcy, something that I appreciate. Sometimes doing usual brings you back to center, and it kind of grounds you, and it takes you away from perhaps some of the sadness that had fallen upon our family this past week. So anyhow, just rambling thought, talking to all of y'all as friends, and just enjoying this beautiful rainy Oregonian weather here on my farm. I didn't want to talk about anything kind of sad because this week's, I guess, video content on my midlife glow up series on Wednesday is already a little bit sad. So if you haven't, go watch it. I will try to link it below, about just my, again, lesson on grief and some of the tragedies that has befallen my little family, for my husband and I. So today, I want to talk lighthearted stuff, right? Lighthearted stuff, just cautions. And if some of you know, or maybe if you don't, I'll spill the bean. I love AI, and I ask AI sometimes to help me with coming up with topic, right, to discuss and also to film. And if you haven't used AI or Chat GPT, use it. I love it. I think it's even smarter this year than it was last year when I started dabbling with it. In fact, I don't know. I think it's going to replace a lot of things, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I like to believe that there will always have to be a creator behind ChatGPT or AI. So I did ask AI, what should I talk about today? And a couple of things that it suggested was kind of cool. And by the way, my AI named herself Sage for wisdom, That's how smart it is. Kind of freaky. But one of the things that that ChatGPT or Sage suggested that I discuss, something lightheartedness is, two things that I kind of picked up. Would I ever consider living off grid? And don't get me wrong, I love my little tiny farm here. It's almost 8 acres. But I don't know if I can. I mean, I love the electricity part of things. I love the fact that I can go and hang out and be rural with my feather babies and friends, and also grow my vegetables and do all of that stuff, right, to become, slightly closer to being sustainable, at least for us, and also for the food cart, and just to be responsible steward of the earth. There's a lot of things that sometimes we do run on electricity, right? And what we have, our watering system is all purely electrical, or at least electricity. We run hose. My husband put it up together, and I turn it on early in the morning, and it just drips, and so that runs on electricity. Let's see here. Even camping. I mean, we have a camper, a vintage camper that my husband, he renovated the inside according to some of the things that I like. One of these days, I'll take a little tour. Maybe when we go camping, I will do a short little view or video tour of our little tiny vintage camper that we picked up and renovated. But even that, I have to say, it has electricity. And where I camp, yes, if we absolutely have to, then we'll bring up our little backup generator to help run some of the things, such as shower or the refrigerator and just cooking. But I don't know. I don't know if I can. I just don't know how I would be without having, running water or electricity to do things. I mean, it's not like I haven't gone out into the forest to go hiking and not be able to just go out there and bring stuff and have no electricity. I mean, there's beauty to that, and I love it here on the farm, but I just don't know if I can completely go off grid. I know that a while back I thought about perhaps maybe looking into doing some bringing in additional, energy saving type of apparatus such as solar plant panel, but I don't know how effective that could be in terms of what we need to run our little farm. And also, it gets kind of cloudy here quite a bit in Oregon, or at least in the Metro Portland, Oregon area. So I don't know. I have no idea how that would look. It's something that I could aspire to. We do collect a lot of rainwater, and I just have to figure out a way to kind of filter out some of the, water a little bit. And for us, I know that I collect quite a bit of it to kind of clean out stuff in the chicken compound, chicken coop area. But I think, outside of just having me needing electricity, I think I can probably maybe go off grid, sort of, kind of, not as, not as great as the others who I've seen, some of the YouTube people where they literally go off grid, but maybe a little bit. I could probably do that. So anyway, I'll think about if I actually maybe can exist. Let me take a trial run and see if I can do it for 3 days, 2 days, and I'll get back to you on that one. I actually got to thinking, in light of the fact that the increasing price in eggs, right? I know that lately I've been seeing quite a bit of, I guess, media and stuff that is going around the internet, and it's also social media, is that there's actually now a lot of people who like eggs but have decided and or are thinking about raising chickens for eggs. And all I can say is do it only if you are prepared for the amount of financial, I guess, the finance or the amount of capital you have to invest up front from getting them a coop so that they can stay and be safe, to buying some of the chickens, to raising them, especially if you get little babies. Some of those feeds are not cheap. And and so if you're prepared to dump a bunch of money into something like that, then I would say go for it, but don't expect that you're going to get eggs right away. Sometimes it take a good 7, 8 months, depending on the type of breed that you have, to get eggs. I have to say that although I have a lot of hens during the wintertime, I'm lucky if those little freeloaders of mine even give me 3 eggs in a span of a week and a half. So keep that in mind. And for me, raising my girls and some of my boys for all my flock, it's really done out of just passion, and they've become such a lifesaver for me when times and life is hard and the world is in chaos. It's really just a place for me to retreat to. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to put that out there in my free flow because I've been hearing a lot about it this week, and I've been telling people don't do it if you think you're going to get a ton of eggs and it's going to compensate for your lack, and or maybe your need to want to have eggs but think that it's too pricey at the moment. I would say just spend that money and just go buy it from the grocery store, because the cost to raise them is going to be a lot more than you just purchasing whatever it is you get at the grocery store. So that's kind of like my little bit of uh, talk on that for this, for this moment. Other things, let me see. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, just chit chatting with friend, catching up with all of you. So if all of you were here on my farm and we're having tea together, I would like, comment below, but how's it this week with you? Any challenges, any thoughts, anything you wanted to share? Maybe we can comment back and forth, support one another. Things that are, maybe not bothering you, but concerns that you have. Hopefully you didn't, do, hopefully it wasn't the unfortunate thing like what my husband and I had to do, which is, bury a brother. But other than that, hopefully your week is off to a much better start or end it in a much better week than the week that we've had here. And another thing I've been thinking a lot about, I had hoped to work in the garden, start pulling some of my weed. It is going to be April, and I feel like I'm just so far behind on my gardening and planting things and putting things down and weeding, getting rid of stuff. I haven't even gotten there, so I feel kind of bad. I have like some roots that I need to put in the ground, and I haven't figured that out, or nor do I even have a schedule. Are any of you planning to plant anything? And if you are, please share. I don't know what I'm going to plant this year other than lemongrass. I love lemongrass. It's a huge part of some of the cuisine that I use, at my food cart. So I have to go, and I found a decent way to repurpose. I save the root, and then I actually plant them during the spring season, and then throughout the summer and even the fall. They flourish like crazy. Don't have much of a green thumb, but that's the one thing I can honestly say I know how to grow. But yeah, I don't know. Just let me know if you're planning on growing anything in my rambling talk today. And let's see, what else can we chit chat about? I love this cooler weather. I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can. I find that there is a lot of peace to the chill and the crispness of this weather. And as I've said, sitting here in my greenhouse, when I can shut out the world a little bit, and my husband is at home inside the house, probably with the TV on, and I'm like, no, I gotta go, I gotta step out. So I get to do that here, and this is, as I call it, my little she shed for me to unwind and also, reflect back on life. So, but yeah, so anyway, I am just, trying to stay consistent, clear my mind a little bit after filming things back to back. And this is my way of trying to continue to perfect who I am in my speaking, and also see how I can do this free flow type of thing without being too scripted, right? So I'm learning. But anyhow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it this far, feel free to please like and subscribe. And if you do have a new YouTube channel that you're trying to grow as well, please drop the link below. I love to come over and support you and follow your journey as well. This is a small community, and I firmly believe that, one of my big thing is not only to grow mine, but also to support the growth of your YouTube channel as well, or whatever other ventures that you're working on. So until next Freestyle Friday, I will talk to you all soon. Thank you. Have a great one. I'm looking for my clicky thing here to turn off the video.